Jordan Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
It's me.
Where are you working?
CEX. So it's like cash converters, but it's mainly for like phones, consoles, games, and stuff like that.
Actually,
Yeah. So it's pretty boring. It's just like retail, but that's
Like retro, did you say?
yeah. Well, we go back as far as like PS2 and like Xbox and stuff. So I guess you can call it retro stuff, but yeah, it's pretty boring.
where is it?
So there's one in Stocklands in Burleigh, which I work at, and there's also one in Helensvale, the Westfield. I saw you there once.
I know
yeah,
where you work. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, there's heaps more in Brisbane and like all in New South Wales and stuff as
wow.
well. But yeah, it's pretty chill, but it can be pretty dead. But
Yeah, because people, it's a destination shop, right? People aren't just browsing; they're actually going there to buy something.
yeah,
And that's, I suppose, a limited market. I suppose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's get to the point. Discounts.
I get 15% off.
15,
Yeah.
15.
Yep, off anything. So
That's
And even when it's on sale.
there's no sales. It's just price changes and stuff.
Oh,
It's just,
okay.
Yeah,
hang on. You guys selling PS5s?
yeah.
15% off. What's that come down to at the moment?
I think it's like 710, so then 15% off that. Yeah,
Oh well,
Catch you later on today. What time are you starting?
9.
it'll be about 600.
Oh, less than that. Well, I bet 600. Yeah,
595,
yeah. Close enough.
Go your halves? We'll keep it at mine.
No,
Oh, that's cool. How long have you been there?
I think it's April, but before that I was doing mowing stuff for Dad's, the business that church started, mowing stuff. But April. Yeah, I think it's April.
and full time.
It's not full time. There's only casual or full time, and you have to be a manager or a team leader. So
Okay,
I don't want to do that.
nah, fair call.
Right. How long were you mowing?
Well, from like start of Jan to like March, but then I've still been doing it here and there. If Dad goes to Victoria, or I'll just help him out. But no, it's on and off. I'll just do it every now and then, but it's good. I don't mind mowing. So
How's pushing that lawnmower in the middle of summer going?
It's so good.
it was ages ago. I haven't done mowing in ages, but it's going from Victoria doing it all the time. I'm just used to using the push mower and stuff, even in the heat and whatever. But in January and whatever, it was freaking hot.
Right. You can't drink enough water, hey? You're sweating.
You got like 3 or 4 water bottles for the day or something.
Nah.
So,
beast.
what number are you in the family?
Yeah, so I'm 3 out of the 5. So mum, dad, and then there's me, Shanae, and Noah. Shanae's, what am I now? I'm 22. So Shanae's 21, and then Noah's 17, like in June or something. He was 17 in June. So yeah.
That's cool because I've known your mum for a long time.
yeah, before I was born, eh?
Yeah, wow.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
In
before
New
you were
Zealand?
born. In New Zealand.
I was born there. Yeah,
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
yeah,
In Auckland?
yeah.
In
I don't know
the
whereabouts, but somewhere in Auckland.
Auckland Hospital?
One of them.
So,
How long have you been in Australia for?
I think I moved when I was like 3.
Oh, okay.
I went up to Mariba near Cairns, like I think it's a few hours from Cairns. There for maybe about I think it was like 5 or so years, and then in Victoria for 14, and that was like the same house as well. So I didn't know anything different really. Pretty much grew up down in Victoria.
yeah.
Then moving up here, just like early November last year. So that's been a better year now. So it's good.
So you've always had the Jesus story that Jesus,
Yeah.
Instilled into you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. So God's been a big part of your world growing up with your parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's that journey been for you? Because at some point you have to
Take your own step.
take your own road.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember a lot of my childhood. I don't know why, but I just can't. So I can't say when I was little, but probably when I was like, I think it was 14 or 15, I got baptized.
Come on.
Even back then, I still didn't like. I think the church that I was going to didn't instill like what exactly being baptized like meant and what it was. Obviously, it was just a brief understanding of what it was.
Sure.
And I was cool with that. But I think just coming up to the church here, I think the way that you guys talk about everything, it's so much more in depth and has like more meaning to it. And I think it's. I've always had. I think I'm probably going to go back and forward between years and stuff, but
That's all right.
I think I never really took it seriously because it was just a normal thing, like every day or like every week, every Sunday you go to church. But I think also, because I went to, I think it was like 3 different churches in my time down in Victoria. And and none of them really did any like banquets or like nothing like that. They all
Right.
just did Sundays and then see you next Sunday. It was always just like the same thing every week. You wait for church to finish, and then you nudge your mum and say, "When are we going home?" You know, that sort of stuff. And
Did they have like morning tea and all that? You can't remember.
I wasn't old enough to. I wouldn't have gone to them, but
yeah.
they wouldn't. They didn't have a ton. Knowing what mum and dad have said, like there wasn't much community there. There was just like, "I'll see you at church. Oh, it's good to see you." Blah blah. Blah. Catch up during the week or whatever. But then you never really catch up at all because no one really, you know, they'll say it, and then you just don't see each other till next Sunday.
So good to see you, man. We've got to catch up sometime. Yeah. We'll talk about it next Sunday.
Yeah,
Let's catch up next Sunday. I've caught up with you now.
Oh, how good is this?
It's more like just like ticking a box for going to
Okay.
church.
Yeah.
Right. So that's sort of what it became for you at that time.
It was just going to church. And like you got 2 songs in a row. Then you've got communion, and then you got another 2 songs, and then the sermon, and then just 1 song. It was always like the same thing every week. There was never like, you know how we can go like for 1 song for like 10, 15 minutes if it's in the right mood and stuff. They would just do like the same thing over and over and over. They wouldn't extend it, all that sort of stuff. It was just they would
Run sheet.
yeah
Stick to the run sheet, baby.
yeah.
So for how old were you then? How like
This was born 2001. So
16, 17 or younger than that?
you mean just when that was happening?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, probably from 13, 14 till like
So
COVID.
were you did you ever think if this is the Christian life, then is it pretty boring? Is that what you sort of thought?
I didn't actually really think about it much, to be honest.
Okay.
No,
Just is what it is.
yeah, I just went to church and like I'm a Christian, and then go on with your week, and then it's hard to think of because it was so long ago because COVID was like 3 years ago, and it was before that I went to church at those ones. So I was like 15, 16, 17 when I was like I got like a knowledge of what was going on, and like it's just the same thing all over and over and over again. Like it was so repetitive, and it didn't like have any meaning to every week. It was always the same. Whereas some weeks here it's like 1 or 2 weeks in a row could be like a really powerful message and stuff. The other week's still always really good, but it's like there's always like there's something different every week. It's never the same, whether it's the different speaker or whatever. Because in the churches I was going to in Ballarat, they were just the pastor was doing every single week, and it was always him, just every week, just him.
How exhausting.
Yeah. And so if you didn't like his voice or something like that, you probably would have gotten a little bit like tired of it. Like, you know,
I don't like the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
Same. I hate the sound of
Your voice.
your voice.
But yeah, it was like
Lies.
it's the same thing every week. No new person coming up and speaking. Maybe once every few months, someone from Adelaide or something comes in, or you know, like something like that. But
Isn't that strange? It's like no one from this community can get up and share, but we'll get some random from another community who no one knows. We'll let them share.
yeah,
That's weird, as a.
yeah. You guys, I'm guessing you don't know any different then, do you? Like, do you guys always like
I know
rotate?
a lot different,
Yeah,
I've seen it at another church, one other church that I've been a part of.
Yeah.
I can't really remember when I was a kid what they ran like, but.
yeah.
But did you say they used to do communion, 2 songs, communion, and then 2 songs?
It was pretty much the same. Yeah, yeah. I
or
think it was.
offering, or giving. Was it money? Did they do an offering message or
Probably
something?
would have been money, not communion.
I don't even remember. I literally can't remember, but I think it would have been just daily. Oh, what weekly things? Oh, we've got this going on next week, or
Oh, yeah, like notices.
just something.
notices.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you you went to school down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you finish?
Well, I mean, I was there for 14 years. I mean,
finish school down
yeah.
there?
So I went to a sports school called Cedar. You probably never heard of it.
A sports
Sports
school?
school.
Oh, what sport
was
did
it-
you play?
It was basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it wasn't like you think it's sports school, you think it's like full on sweaty, try hard. It wasn't really that sort of people. It was more just like I think it was more of a, if you want to think of it as in this perspective, in like normal schooling, there's like, you know, you got to do all your subjects, you got to do all the exams for every subject. Whereas for us, it was like, we're more like work experience and getting, you know, experience in the workplace and going out and being independent.
Oh,
So-
sick.
Functional school.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yes. But it was, we were
Like
just
real
like
learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like catering to what kids actually need.
Yeah. Because we did like volunteering. We had to do like, I think it was 40 hours a week of a year of volunteering.
Right.
We did more than that because I was coaching Noah's basketball team as well. So that kind of got me 3 hours by doing that. But also you have to like,
man.
you have to make sure that you're like the teacher will like tell you, okay, you haven't done any volunteering like events this term. So he will like put you in for like 2 of them. And so you go out on the weekend at like, you know, whether it's in the morning or lunch or, you know, go and like a footy event, like AFL event, all this
Was
sort
this
of
a
stuff.
Christian school?
No.
What? What?
Yeah, it's all like work experience and like getting yourself to.
That's really cool.
Yeah, really
What the
independent.
heck?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a school like that.
Yeah. They're only in I think New South Wales, Victoria, and I think maybe in Adelaide. I think they have it, but I don't think there's anywhere else.
It's weird. They're in the
So you
lockdown
got a
state.
scholarship for basketball. So how did you?
No, so it's not it wasn't for basketball. So it's a certificate. It was a certificate 3 in sport and rec. That was just for finishing year 12.
But you
So-
loved basketball.
Oh yeah, basketball was the only thing I talked about. Yeah.
How did you find that passion? Because it's not as if your parents are tall and
No,
Just throw some shade.
yeah, man.
Noah was tall for some reason.
Well,
like
Noah
6'3".
is.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, I've only hastily.
Oh, he
seen
is
him.
super tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, compared to you, he's super tall. but-
Oh wow, just hitting short people today,
go.
bro.
Anyway,
So, what fueled that passion?
I honestly think it was when we bought a PS3 and it came with NBA 2K12. It came with and Ratchet and
makes
Clank as well.
sense.
And that was like my first step into basketball. I didn't really know of it beforehand. I did play futsal indoor soccer before that. I was the goal scorer. It was just good fun doing that. It was ages ago. But basketball was playing 2K. And I don't know why, I just started liking it. And then I think it was got it in 2011 because the game came out in 2011. And then I think the next year I started playing basketball, and then it's been basketball since then. And I'm just a passion I've had after playing the game, I guess.
Yeah, soccer doesn't translate to basketball very easy. Foot to hands. It's
Who's
difficult,
your best player that you look up to?
My favourite, not
favourite.
idol. You can't idolize anyone, but
Yeah.
their favourite.
We should guess.
Oh, okay.
Who do you reckon?
Oh, probably like Kobe.
Joe, don't answer. Don't answer. I'm going to say, because I know so many basketball players, the tall white guy that came from Australia.
Ben Simmons.
Yep, let's lock him in. No, didn't
Nah,
think so.
It would have been Michael Jordan. I mean, it's my name.
Almost
yeah,
gonna say that.
yeah.
I know that name. I could have said that.
Yeah.
But I never really looked at one player I want to be like
Yeah.
him. It was just I like basketball and I playing the game, playing the video game of it. And then I know because I'm pretty quick when it comes to basketball, so I'd be running around all the time non-stop, and people are getting exhausted, and I'm just so running around stealing the ball, passing it, being the point guard because I was the shortest on the team. But I think I don't know why, but I really loved running when I was younger. I don't like as much now. It's I can still do it and stuff, but I think I just had a passion for being active with basketball. I didn't do much else, but it was just basketball.
Did you do some kinesthetic training or whatever for because you got a good jump on you?
I've always had I can always
Good hops,
jump high. Yeah, I don't know why.
Actually, can you dunk?
No, but I can grab the ring. I'm only 5'7", but
Right.
no, it's weird. Yeah, I didn't do box jump training. I didn't do any training for it.
Is it calisthenic training or
couldn't
kinesthetic
tell
training
you.
or something like that? When you just train your certain muscles and you
I
can
think you're making that up.
jump high. He's got mean hops. So, okay.
Do you jam on the Tuesdays or Wednesdays?
Yeah.
with the team?
It's the Thursdays. Yeah, we do it's just with Zach and all the
Yeah.
kids and stuff. It's good fun. It's
really cool.
Yeah,
So good. Are you helping him out?
yeah. Helping out. It was just we were just playing basketball, but if kids do need a hand with if they're doing something wrong or can get better at it, I'll just give them advice while we're playing the game and stuff. But I think it's just because I've got knowledge of the game and it's just I can help them out.
So, his brother-in-law is a ref, a basketball
I
ref.
was a ref, yeah.
Where
was
at?
a ref in Victoria. He was. He's
Oh,
up
like
here
a
now.
pro ref.
I think he was BJVBL or JVBL or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
it was the high, pretty
The
good
next, just under NBL.
league. NBL, yeah.
Yeah. Is that how you
JVBL.
met?
No. So no.
Because I thought you could have been at the game and Shanae would have been there and she's like, "Oh, who's that ref?"
No.
Like, it
He was
didn't
doing that
work out
before
like that?
Sean even met him and stuff. This is, back when he was 15, 16, 17.
Oh yeah.
They met.
Oh, they met at Macca's. They both worked at Macca's. Yeah.
Macca's.
He's at Nando's now though. Yeah.
Oh, trader.
He was it. Now he's gone to Concentrics now. Yeah.
Concentrics. That's
Yeah.
What's concentrics?
It's kind of like the Centrelink sort of. It's all that sort of stuff, computer
wow.
stuff, and I don't know. I really don't know too much
No, I
about
getcha.
it. But yeah, it's all about the legal documents and people needing their, or whatever it is, money wise and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds fun.
So you're and you're an uncle.
Yes,
Funkle? Just an uncle.
just an uncle.
How old's the baby?
I think he's 3 months tomorrow or something. Yeah. I think it
I'm
was.
dedicating him in 2 Sundays time.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Malachi.
Malachi.
Yeah.
Are you like a baby guy or nah?
Well, I didn't really know before because I never really I didn't really hold babies. I didn't really have friends or anything. My mum's friends that had babies and stuff. So I didn't know what I would be like when she had the kid. So I'm just like, I'm just going to be cool. I'm just going to I'm going to be at church. I'm just going to hold him around everywhere. I'm just going to be like, oh, look at me. I've got a kid. But no, it's
look at me. I've got a kid.
No, it's because I always want a family. That's my main goal in life was to have a family. And
let's go.
It's good. But I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be like with him. But I think every week I just feel like I'm getting better with
harder.
He's so.
It's scary the first time, because you're like, weird. I don't want to break it.
Oh yeah, like holding his neck, bro, you have to hold it so straight and everything. I'm just even to he can hold his neck up now, he can hold his head, but he's still wobbling. But I still always make sure I'm holding his head just because I'm like, what if his head drops back? What if you're so careful with them and they're so cool. They just laugh at nothing and
Once you've got your own kids, bro, one here, one here.
How old are you now?
Yeah, 22. Yeah,
22. So you got your eyes on anyone?
I'm just chill. I'm just waiting. That's all good.
Eyes open though. Good.
I've always been open. I used to be really bad with this. Yeah.
Bro, we're going to come back to this. We got to talk about Jesus first.
No, this is all part of the Jesus.
Yeah,
walk.
but I think if we get into Jesus and then we can flow into
he's talking
this.
about marriage. That's a big Jesus talk.
Yeah, okay.
That's amazing. I love that.
All right then. So
okay. Talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
When did you give your heart to the Lord yourself?
Yeah. When did you transition from it just what we do to was there an encounter? Was there a moment of whoa?
I wish there was this big bang, there was from nothing to something, but it's not a drastic. I couldn't say this one moment this Sunday, this time. I can't think of that sort of moment. But if I'm just thinking of fully dedicating myself, to God and just being all with it and actually understanding what it is to be a Christian, I think that'd be coming to chapel because beforehand it was because COVID and everything, we couldn't go to church and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And the churches they did open, they had all these mandates and stuff. It was stupid. But we went to I think it was maybe half a dozen services over the last 3 years, from 2020 to 22, maybe 3 services.
Wow.
Before that, but it was mainly just when I was in high school, it was churches. I'm a Christian. I go to church on Sunday. Same thing, repeat every week. So I wasn't there. I got baptized, which was good. But after that, it was always the same. I never changed anything. I was 15, 16. I didn't know the full meaning of it, I guess. But yeah, I think coming to chapel, because if I remember, we originally came here in, was it early 2022?
Holiday.
Yeah. We came for a trip. We went to New South Wales and then came up here for I think it was 2 weeks or so. And then Mum's like, yeah, going to church. I've known these people since, before you're born. I'm like, okay, I don't really know who they are. I knew they visited you a few years ago before COVID. That's about it. I didn't know anything about you guys. And then, went to church. And after the first service, I think, I still remember it, Rochelle was talking about how water reacts to sounds and all this sort of stuff. So, they microscope all the water and it looks like crystals and stuff like that and all the, how good the, how pure the water is, really, with positive words being spoken around it or whatever it is, and rock music was really detrimental to the water's purity and stuff. I still remember that that was the first service I remember, and that was I'm like, this is the church we got to be at, and I'm like, I said we're moving here. Mum kind of got the same feeling as well, but I said we have to this is where we've got to be, and so after that service, I'm like, it was fully packed. We were standing at the back of church as well. It was crazy, but yeah, that was the first time I knew when I was gonna
Right.
This is the church we need to be at for us as a family.
Wow.
Yeah, and then.
Look at you, making the man calls.
Yeah, big dog.
You know what, Mum and Dad?
Yeah.
As a family, this is where we need to be.
I love it.
No, it's good. We all had the same thought though as well. It was this is where we're going to be. And then we went back to Victoria to sell our house, split off back property, all that sort of stuff. And there's a whole thing doing stuff at home for the last. There's I think it was 10 months, 9-10 months, and then I didn't have a job or anything in between. Then I was just doing the bookkeepings for Dad because he's electrical business and stuff.
Were you in and out of lockdown in that period, back selling the house, or?
No, so 2022 was pretty chill with the restrictions. Mainly 21 was really bad, but obviously 20 was bad as well. But it was no one took it seriously for a few months until later in the year. But 21 was when it was
arresting people for walking their dogs.
You couldn't go within, I think it was 5 kilometres of your house when you're exercising, I think as well. But no one, heck can you track that? So it's ridiculous. It was the worst. Dan Andrews was so bad. I hate it. But So going back down there for like 10 months and then coming back up again. I think it was about January or like February where I'm like, there was a few services where I'm like, wow, this message really hit me. And it was kind of like the ones where you're like, I think I need to raise my hand. You know, one of those ones like you're churning in your stomach and stuff. You're like, oh, you got butterflies or whatever. And you're like, man, I gotta raise my hand. You know, there's been a lot of stuff hasn't been healed over the last, 3-4 plus years, whatever it's been. And I think, just a few of those services in a row. I think like back to back, I put my hand up and it's really tough, but it was so rewarding because it like kind of gives you like breaking chains in a way, like not like, dramatic breaking chains, but like opening you up and like you can breathe a bit. You know what I mean?
That's cool, man.
So there was, in
really
January,
cool.
I think it was like when I was like, I want to start like reading the Bible. I want to like have a passion for this sort of stuff. And
Come on,
it was really
man.
good. And then I think church camp was a couple months later and that was really, really cool.
So how long have you been at chapel for?
Yeah, since like mid-November, I think like 10th of November.
Like last year.
Yeah.
Again, it feels like ages,
Yeah.
eh?
Feels like so long.
So good.
It must be the young adults group. Are you sure last year?
Yeah. I got here, like me and Dad drove up. We left on the 4th of November, got here the 5th of November. So yeah. Yeah.
It's only been a year.
There's the key. If you're new to chapel, just join the young adult crew. They're everywhere. No, because we were just talking to Bailey
Yeah.
about this
And he was hardly here for long.
but we feel like you guys have been here for ages.
He's been here longer than me though, surely. Yeah.
Not much longer though.
Okay. Wow.
Man, that's cool.
It was June last year.
Like
And I'm
a year and a
thinking,
half or so then, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you respond. Yeah, which is like that's pretty
big.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
big. That's like your moment.
Yeah, because especially after not going to church for like however many years, and it was like we watched like Jensen Franklin.
Yeah.
I used to watch heaps of Jensen Franklin. We still do every now and
he's
then.
the man, bro.
He's so good. Anyway, so yeah, we used to watch him a fair bit. Like every Sunday, we'd try to watch it. But it's with, I think, like, all of us, because we all had to sell the house. We had all the other things going on. Like, I don't want to get into it because it's too much stuff and I won't remember half of it. But I think mentally we were all just like, everyone in the family was just like exhausted and like,
Fatigued.
yeah, I think, just mentally it was tough. So I think not every Sunday we'd watch it because it's like less motivation if we got other things to do to get the house ready or whatever it is. And I do think it was, just coming up here was so healing for all of us. And the weather obviously is like miles better.
Yeah, the weather's healing. Oh,
So
that's
bad in
awesome.
Victoria. Like, especially where we were in Ballarat is terrible. It's like one of the worst. Like, I think it's one of the worst towns in Australia. Like, there's like a chart, and it's like top 10 for like the worst weather. Like, there's like 3 or 4 seasons in one day, if as a normal day, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
But, it's so bad.
That's why Ballarat, the restrictions would have been, because Ballarat is a little bit rural, right?
Not really.
No?
No.
Isn't that where like the mining town and stuff is?
It was back in the day. You're probably thinking of like the history of Ballarat.
Well,
It was
this
the
guy
mining. It was the mining town.
I went through 20 years ago, so
Oh yeah, okay. The basketball team there is the Ballarat Miners, so you got that going for you.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of the I think they opened the first Carl's Jr. in Victoria in Ballarat, so it was very weird. Like they're putting a lot of emphasis on making it a
So
new.
that's Carl's Jr. for you.
It's so bad.
Well, hang on a second, bro. The
Carl's
first
Jr.
Carl's Jr. was out at like Yatla or whatever it
Yeah.
is. So you're not selling. You're selling the rural point. No, that's okay. That's cool. So
Yeah.
it's like a bigger.
Yeah, they actually played some like NBL preseason games there in Ballarat, the new stadium they got there.
Oh, cool.
So like, when LaMelo Ball was in the NBL, he did like a preseason game or two there. So they're making it a big place to go to now. But the weather's you don't live there. The weather is so bad. It's cold and wet. All of winter is just cold and wet. You don't want to go outside. It's miserable.
Sounds like New Zealand.
Yeah.
So bad.
What about friends in Ballarat? How did that sort of go for you?
I think for like my age group, especially with COVID, like people like 20 to 23, I think it's really hard after finishing school and then going COVID, because I finished year 12, which was this like it wasn't like normal school, but you finish that and then I was like studying graphic design and then COVID hit and then I dropped out of that and it like ruined everything, like any other chance of getting out there and like seeing people.
Yeah.
But with this, I don't really know. I've got a couple friends that I used to go to school, like year 9 and 10 and stuff like that, which I'll message maybe once every few months because I don't live near them anymore, or I don't really like have that. You have those school friendships that you're really close when you're at school and then you leave school and then
Yeah.
you're like they're just not.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
your acquaintances at school. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it is. for everyone.
But you don't really know that until you leave school and you're like, man, I've like what happened to all these people? Because it's just like it's just how it is. You have to go through it to realize.
Yeah.
Like
it's true.
And you hear people say it all the time. Like back in the day, you're like, okay, but then you like hang out with them every week or you'll message them every day. Like, it's just when you leave school and stuff, it changes everything.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of contacts down there. Like I never really had I didn't have a ton of friends. I was just mainly like a 3 or 4 main people that I would message and catch up with every now and then. But it was mainly through I think my 2 closest friends, 2 of my 3 closest friends were, I met them like, or got to know them well at Cedar. And then, that finished. And then you don't really see them again.
Yeah.
We did basketball. We did like a casual, men's group for like a season. But then they did COVID. You have to be vaccinated to play. And we're like, I'm not going to worry about that. So we played for 1 season. And that's like the last I saw of them. So
what
it's been a
about
while.
up here?
All
What
changed.
about up here? Friends-wise and stuff.
It's like a different community. It's the whole just going into chapel the first time. You could just feel the community and like how nice everyone was, like how positive they were, and they weren't like looking down or like, depressed or had like a hoodie on. Like that's what it would be like in in Ballarat at church. It'd be, cold and wet. People come with their hoodies. They would just walk straight in, go sit in your seat, and you leave. Like you got those sort of a lot of people would do that, or you wouldn't really talk to them. You just say, "Oh hey, how are you?" and they walk past and that sort of stuff. But here it's like everyone's like family. Like I've said it before. Like it feels like everyone's like it's a whole family, and everyone's so like welcoming and inviting. And it's
Does that sort of spur your walk with the Lord on?
oh yeah, I'd never had anything like it before. So I think it was a bit of a shock at first. I think for like the first few months, I'm like, man, everyone's like I don't want to talk to people that much. Like I'm just trying to chill a little bit. I'm just trying to be in the back of the church and just getting a feel for it. But I think people like, Levi and Zach, I'm really like close to those guys, and they're very like, I think Levi's very eccentric and he's like very like, they're very talkative, but they're also like, they're just really lovely people. And as soon as you start talking to them, you're like, okay, I'm just trying to, I don't know what to say next. I'm like, I don't talk this much to people. And then you're like, but they just talk, you don't have to think about it. You just have to you just talk. I don't know.
That's cool.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love it.
So so January, it was about January you said where you're like kind of like, man, I'm in.
Yeah, Feb,
I want to go deeper into what's been happening as like you take that journey this year. You're noticing some like internal changes and
It's been ages since January, February, man. I don't know. I feel like because I'm so accustomed to it now, like every Sunday and stuff like that, and being around this sort of people, I really can't even think of what it was like beforehand. If that might sound weird, but it's hard to go like beforehand. I was like, I thought I didn't have much going for me. I was like very negative. Like I had a lot of negative thoughts going on. Like every time something good could happen, I'd always think of what could go wrong or what if I did this or, that sort of...
Do you think that was a result of the lockdowns?
Oh, it was before that a little bit, but COVID made my anxiety was, like everything.
Anxiety.
I couldn't even like go to the shops and get milk and bread for mum without questioning her. Like, why can't you go do it? Why can't, it was really bad. Like I couldn't even, like I'd be overthinking, what if this, what if that, what if I don't know where that is and people think I'm stupid because I don't know where that bread is.
Wow.
Or, I would, even though I know the shop, that shop's been there for the whole time I've lived there for 14 years. But, all these thoughts enter your brain and that's not from God. All these anxiety, or like all the anxiety and all the bad thoughts don't come from God.
Man.
God's not like, here, have these and like, deal with them.
Yeah.
No, it's going from having that, it's literally like makes me feel like annoyed because of how I was.
Right.
But going to now, I can be independent. Like I went to Cedar, which was independent schooling. You'd like catch the train, go to Melbourne, walk around, catch trams, all that sort of stuff and be independent in that way. And that was good. But then, COVID like knocked all that out, like all that experience that I got I went back like, 5-10 years confidence and stuff like that.
Man.
And then, but yeah, it's night and day difference. Like the weather here compared to theirs, night and day. Church is night and day. My mentality and like, everything's night and day difference. But I do think if your question was like, how do I feel I've changed inside and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I think just more of a want to read the word, because if I go days without reading, I'm going back into my old habits. Like I'm just like going over every week like I was. Like I was just go to church and then I would never read my Bible. I would have like a devotions for young men, but I would never read it. Like I had one, didn't read it because I don't like reading. I was rather play games or something when I was younger and everything. So I think the mentality, because it comes so naturally now, I think to me is like you have to read the word, and then when you don't for a day or two because you're busy or you miss it, and you're like, man, I I really should be reading the word, or you could be falling back into older habits or something that just plays, like in the back of your mind. That's like, oh, I used to do this all the time, or this used to be, I used to do it without even thinking, or those sort of things that you want to stay away from. You just, it's like I said, it's just knowing that I read the word so often now. I should be reading it more, but I think I think I should be reading it more. But I read it and I'm like, man, that feels good. It's just like motivation and I think it gives you a lot of hope reading the word. Because especially from going beforehand when I didn't read the Bible, or I didn't watch Jensen Franklin's, and that'd be really good, but then I wouldn't do anything after it, and I'd be like, that's my church for the week. That's this, that. That's kind of how it was. Well, for me at least. It's very different. So I think mentally I'm just like, I'm so much more healed mentally from it. Whether it's doing the banquets, the banquets have been so good. There was nothing like that in Victoria. The churches I went to, they never did they may have done one or two, but with smaller groups that they discuss between themselves, they didn't make it open to the church.
Right.
So, but here we've got you can do anything.
What banquets have you done?
So I did so Chris Mills did one for young men desiring marriage. So getting to know how to prepare for marriage and what to do when you're in marriage and stuff like that.
It's a good banquet.
No, it was. I loved it.
Yeah,
it is awesome. Banquet.
And it was a smaller group of us, so it was we could open up more and be more. We could open up about things we've had thoughts of oh, what about this in a marriage, or what about that, or I never really thought about that. And we would just discuss for 2-3 hours. And that Chris did. Oh, I love that course so much. That was so good.
That's good.
And then you did 1 Timothy as well, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Was meant to be a Yak event, Yak one, but
we had a few stormtroopers come in.
Good.
That was good fun as well.
But it ended up being actually quite a cool mix, eh?
That was really good. Yeah, I think you got to know some of the older people really well. And you're just seeing them at church, hey, because you saw them every week for was it 8 weeks or whatever it would have been. That was really good.
That's a cool part of it, eh?
Yeah.
Is you meet people and then you know them.
Yeah.
You spend some time with them.
And
then you don't have to live with them forever.
You just move
You're just
on.
okay, cool. I know you.
You get the good parts. You get the good parts.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cool. So Timothy and then
I did Valiant Man. We just finished that one a few weeks ago. But I was going to do Pebble Book as well, but there's a thing going on after church on Sundays apparently that's coming up, so I want to get into that. I think Mikey was saying something about it, but those are the 3 that I've done in the 2 seasons.
Great.
But I knew that Valiant Man apparently was going to be more of a it's more of a heavy hitting one than other ones. So I was I'm just probably going to do that one just to focus on that.
That's good.
And so because it's an everyday thing, so it's mainly I would miss a few days here and there, but it's mainly just having that one. I mean, I could have done more banquets, but I think the point I was in, I'm okay, I'll just do that one.
You've only been here for a year, bro.
Yeah.
And you've done
and you've
3
practically
banquets.
smashed some key banquets.
Yeah. No, but I love them. I would love to do them again in the future, just as a different perspective, or maybe 3-4 years down the line when I'm in a different place than I am now. So
you can run one. That's what you
man.
can do.
That'd be pretty
You
cool.
can run Valiant Man for
some young guys.
Yo.
Wow. Jinx.
Damn.
So so one of your desires in your heart is to be a family man, have kids,
That's
and
really
a family.
neat.
It's pretty cool.
It's really
It's been I don't know, it's always been instilled in me, I think, from mum and dad. Just I think in general, they wouldn't talk to me when I was 10, 11, hey, you can have a family, not like that weird stuff, but it was more it's how I saw my the best joy that I could get would be having my own family, seeing people in public with maybe it's two young, maybe years ago, seeing 2 young parents with a kid, and then they're just walking them around and having a good time or smiling and stuff. It brings some sort of a joy or something. I don't know what it is, but
having a good time.
having a good time, and then you don't
for
see
about half an hour.
Yeah, okay.
So what's that look like for you? When do you want to get married?
I always
It's the Lord's timing.
Yeah.
But when's Geordie want to get married? And
obviously
A year ago.
no, I should have been married by now.
No, you've done Valiant Man. You've done the marriage thing with Chris.
Yep. No,
you're good to go.
I think if I was getting into a relationship before I did, especially I did Valiant Man more recent than the other one. If I got into a relationship beforehand, I would have brought all the things that I had for the last few years mentally and that was stuck in me. I would have brought all that they're all cons. They're all those cons to a relationship, but I think Chris did a really, really good job of making sure that we acknowledge what your pros and cons. It was a lot of reflection on yourself. So it's knowing
good.
what you do that could be detrimental to a relationship, and you're man, I never thought about that. I never got told you should look at yourself because no one's perfect. Like I never got told that, which most people don't because it's not something you really talk about. But I think that one was really rewarding in that sense for like looking at yourself. Valiant Man as well, the same premise for that. But I think just the fact that you need to look at yourself, what you bring, what things you need to improve on yourself, because it can be very daunting just going, oh man, I'm like, I need to improve that like a lot, or where it's like, oh, I do really good in these ones. I never really thought about it. Like, that's cool.
Like, so you balanced look, you look at both.
Yeah. So you get like good. Like 4 or 5 of each. You just make sure you have a lot of the pros. Especially ask like family members. Oh, I don't see myself. So what do you guys see that I could bring to a relationship or like not bring to a relationship? Yeah, I asked mum. Yeah.
Mate, she would give you the lowdown.
Did you? That's a great idea.
Yeah, I didn't know what. I'm like, I could be. Maybe what if I'm too needy, or what? I'm like, I don't know.
Pick up your undies off the floor, put them in the dirty clothes basket. You're good to go.
And do your washing.
Yes. Yeah.
But no, it was. It was great. Like, I mean, so with your questions, so I keep going off. But
we got
great,
you, bro.
Man.
We love
that's
it.
Good.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I would have gone like, any time now is good. But it's like finishing Valiant Man, I'm like, I got to finish that. Then I've got to like, stick with every other thing I've learnt for being at Chapel, the whole year I've been here, any other banquet. Like, you just got to stick with it. And I think any time on from now on would be great. I mean, like, that's cool. But I mean,
leave it with us, bro. Leave it with us.
Eyes open, bro. Eyes open.
Yeah, I've always had my eyes open, but I've always been like, it was like COVID years. It's like, man, I love a relationship right now, but then you go to like the online dating was like, bro, it's so bad. Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that.
Don't worry, online, bro.
No.
We got you in house.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lockdown and stuff does that to you, you know?
Yeah,
you can't go anywhere and you're like, what if I go on the Christian dating app?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That wasn't very cool, but yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Wow. What's with the anxiety? Is it a battle still?
I think like 90% of it's probably gone.
Wow.
I think, something like that.
That's amazing.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, obviously, like I still might overthink things at times. I think we're all human, but like
we all do that.
I used to overthink. I used to overthink everything, negative thoughts, and then I'd be like getting down on myself going into doing something and just not looking forward to it.
Right.
But now I'm like, I look forward to anything that I could do that is with other people, especially with going to like the yak events and stuff like that. Like, awesome,
cool.
we get to do something together as a at this sort of age group that we are. So no, I love it. And if you told me this a year ago when I got here, I'd be like overthinking. Oh my gosh, what if this person says this? What if, anything.
Yeah,
right? It's so different. I'm like
so
a different person.
What's a word of advice then?
Nice.
Or encouragement or input for someone who is of your sort of age bracket that are really struggling with anxiety, even social anxiety, like, oh no, what sort of an encouragement for you?
That's good.
I'll probably say a couple of things. I don't have like these verses that I'm just going to use because I've just done it like for myself.
Yeah.
I think it can always be better. Is something that if you're down on yourself, just like this is one thing you can say to yourself that it can always be better or it's going to get better. And like, I think another thing is just like God's timing is perfect. Even though we might go, oh, but what if I got this now? I'll be happier. But it's like you have to like just breathe, like relax. I used to like talk so fast. I probably still do sometimes, but
just a little bit.
I used to talk like really fast, run out of breath. Just just relax. But I used to just get like I used to want to never forget saying anything, so I would always try to get it out as fast as possible. I still do it sometimes, but you just gotta just relax. Take every day. I think taking every day as it comes it's just a better thing than looking. Oh my gosh, look at like weeks away. What about this? It's like okay, every day is different.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Take it one day at a time. It's simple, but I think that makes can make a big difference. I think.
Did you used to sort of run ahead of thinking about next week after? Oh no, I've got this and this, and you'd miss the now.
That's why I used to always.
Because you're always thinking about.
If I knew, like, if you called me weeks ago and told me, can you do the Testify podcast now? I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like 4 weeks away. What am I going to do? I'll start freaking out. But you called me last week. I'm just like, cool. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm still like a bit nervous in a way because I don't know. I've never been in a setting like this, so it's like. But I'm compared to a year or two ago, I would have been like crazy.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
you were like, "Yeah, man, I can do that. I'll make it work around work. That's cool."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, let's go." We had 2 young guns on here this morning.
It's really cool.
So Oh, I like that, bro. That's a really good encouragement for people. Hey, man, like it can be better.
And just to have hope, because I was like, I didn't really have a lot of hope with what was going on in Victoria and what I was going through. So I think just having hope, I think is a huge one as well. And just belief that that God's got it in his hands and he's gonna mold you the way that you're supposed to be. So don't overthink too many things, I think.
But hope, how do people grasp hope? How did you grasp hope? Because you say people just need hope.
Yeah.
How did you hold on to hope?
Man. Probably, I think reading the word obviously makes a big difference. So like reading whether it's even like Google searching motivating verses from the Bible that like encourage you with hope or give you like something give you hope for your future. So I think mainly for me it was mainly just reading encouraging scripture that was just like saying, just like saying God's got it under his, it's in his hands. Yeah. He's gonna put in your life what you need. It's gonna be the best thing for you. It's gonna be. I think you're gonna like appreciate it more when it happens. Obviously, that's like look better easier said than done. Like, oh man, I can't wait till this. I'm stuck in this now. It's like I think I don't really have like a one word message for hope. Okay. I'm just trying to. I've just done it in my own little ways. That is like you're reading scriptures that are very motivating. Whether it's on Instagram Reels popping up and it's just like these really nice encouraging words, and you're like, man, like I really needed that. And then you end on that like the nice quote or something like that.
I like that. That's good. And like the Bible, the word is alive and active. And when you were talking about reading it,
that's awesome.
Yeah, if you just read it, you might not feel like anything's happening. You just read it consistently, as much as you can throughout the year, and you'll just notice at the end of the year, you're like, oh man, stuff's changed, things are happening. So that's good, bro. Cling to that. The word is our hope.
It's been a year, but it feels like it's been longer. But then it also feels like, man, it's been a year. But it's like it's all over the place. But it's like you said before. What was it like before? In like my desire or whatever it was, like anything before I came to chapel and like started giving myself to God more. It's like I can't even really think about that mentality because I can't remember. Because there wasn't much going for me there anyways. And so now that it's been instilled every week at church and all the banquets and all the yak events and stuff, it's just more, it's all positivity.
It's awesome.
But it's probably like a 180 in my life from, Victoria to here.
It's amazing what environment
can do.
Yeah. Environment. So nice weather, friendly people.
Community, like a genuine community, yeah.
Whereas isolated, bad weather
in your room all the time, like
in your room, like environment and breaking your environment, breaking out of some of the bad environments is really good.
Like even never eating dinner together as a family, like we just used to go in our rooms, whether it's watching a show or something, we'd always be separate, and that was just shut your door. And everyone did the same thing. It was like it's very like thinking about it, it's more of like a depressing way of living. And I'm just like, man, like. If I could have done things differently, I would. Like it's looking back on that, I can't change it and everything. But it's like, man, that's so different to what I do now.
That's awesome.
It's night and day, yeah.
So good.
Well done.
Oh, bro. Well, thank you so much for your time coming on today.
It's all good.
We appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time, and it's cool to watch you flourish.
That's good.
Young adults community. See your wedding one day, bro.
Thanks, guys.